Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eternal Journey and the Resolves, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Xenan pledge deck that I found on Eternal Warcry, and it actually looks kind of cool. It's using a lot of the new cards and it's really going deep on a pledge mechanic. So one thing I will say that I noticed when I was looking at the deck is that we are really heavy on 4-drops, but because we're playing Glasshopper, a bunch of those 4-drops are actually like 3.5 drops because Glasshopper does make them cost 1 less. So cards like Cykalis and Dredger, and then Moonstone, Vanguard up on the 5 drops can potentially cost a little bit less. So we've got a lot of disruption here as well because we've got Ponysnatcher and Teach of Humility, so we should be pretty good against decks that are trying to rely on the markets. As well as just like being kind of aggressive. So these are both X-axis and a YY, so that's kind of rough on the power. So maybe I'm not too sure about the Diplo seal, but I guess it does make sense realistically because, because like pledge unit, especially like a Dread, into like Diplo seal for the other ones, we can just play whichever one we do have. And then we've got like enough duels here to be able to sort of figure that out. One thing I would sort of like to have seen in this deck would have been maybe a couple of Risters, because we do have like Star Reader's Blade to keep bringing it back, and if you can't block anyway, what you're losing. So Star Reader's Blade as well is another card that's relying on the pledge synergy. So the Wield of it can't block, which is, kind of medium, but if Rister can't block and it's the best card in the game, then, maybe it's not too bad of a downside. But when the Wielder dies, you draw it from your void, and if you pledge this game, you play it instead. So you can very easily imagine, just put your Star Rider's Blade on something like a Moonstone, Vanguard, or Ponysnatcher, and that's like a really aggressive play that you're making. I've got like a 5/2 quick draw flying flyer, or you've got like an 8/5 endurance for whatever reason, attacker that's drawing your card every time it attacks. And your opponent sort of has to deal with that, at which point you just get the unit back, which it's kind of sweet. It's like a Aegis, or you manage to see for yourself. I see can't block probably will cause you some problems, but you're an intelligent human. You can figure out when you actually want to do this, and through the medium of things like Xenan Temple, you can sort of decide when you want to let something die, because you can just Xenan Initiation it. So the creator of this did have the big Apex Predator 9-drop dinosaur on it, but I just swapped it for a Dark Return because I do actually kind of like the idea of Dark returning a Glasshopper just to keep getting loads of Cycalises, because Cycalis is kind of good, and if you just making infinite of these with Glasshoppers, I can see this deck being able to be very aggressive as well as kind of grindy as well, because it's got things like Memory Dredger, and Memory Dredger can bring back Glasshopper, which can bring back Cycalis or Dread, and just having really aggressive 4-drops anyway, just because of all the charge, as well as grindy effects, or can't be removed on the first turn, and draw another unit from your void if you didn't want to attack with it, or if the attacking was clear. Other than that, we're also using Desecrate, which is, kill a unit, take 3 damage, but again, we're playing a deck with both Dreads and Varas in, so, the big lifesteal units, Moonstone, Vanguard blocks, gains life, and Star Reader's Blade can give those lifesteal units just more attack. So you could be attacking in with a 6 power or an 8 power Vara, and you're getting a lot of life. Doesn't really matter if you aren't blocking at that point, because you're just attacking and killing your opponent. But anyway, I've said enough here. Let's get onto the ladder and see what this can do. I think it is just going to be a snapshot, just for the sake of time. So just 3 games with this, see where we end up on the ladder. Okay, so here we are playing against Pig Fan, and we've actually got double Glasshopper, so Moonstone Vanguard seems like a great turn 1 play here. So the unfortunate sort of awkwardness with pledge cards is you can only do them on turn 1, which means that they're kind of bad when it comes to Seat of Mystery. Well, just seats in general. In another game that I used to play, which was Versus System, you were able to pledge every card, which was absolutely fantastic. And then there were some cards with an ability called Reservist, where you could trade them with another resource later in the game to be able to pull that and pick it back up. So as long as we're not playing against something fast, we should be okay here, because we've got Desecrates, which is kind of medium here because we can not play it until turn 3, just because of the way that our power's kind of worked out. Okay, actually this is fine. Just on Moonstone Vanguard, just block this, make our opponent either have a power drop or a trick. So if they don't play power, okay, so they played power, so we will just block here. I think I'm kind of fine doing that. I said, much rather just like take the 4 damage and just like be able to play this the turn after. We can't just like keep infinite Desecrates here, I don't think, because we can't just like take 9 damage just to ulcerate some of our opponent's units. But there's a point where I used to play a game called Magic and there was a card called... Aww, I can't believe you just got then. The old Hojan Defiance deck. There's a card called Ulcerate, which was pay for your life to give something -3/-3, so it's basically a black bolt. And I was a massive fan of that card, especially in like aggressive decks. Tried it a couple of times as like a Miser and like a control deck, but probably it's not quite as good. Also, imagine ever like Snapcaster in that, that'd be awful. Although I've snapped back an amount of dismembers in my time. So we are going to kill this. So what can we do with Dread? We can get back a Hopper, but let's just Glasshopper into another Moonstone Vanguard, and then just like playing infinite Vanguards against our opponent here. But let's just boop this. So we're only at 15. Our opponent's, you know, not hit us for 6 of that. But next turn, we could potentially just like play Dread for the ability. That seems kind of fine. But we're probably going to actually just play a Moonstone Vanguard no matter what. It's got the 5th power, so even if our opponent kills this, or like they Whirling Duel with like Chump or whatever, you know, we're able to still just play Moonstone Vanguard into Vanguard, which is kind of good. I'm going to assume that the Hojan Red Canyon Smuggler deck isn't playing Harsh Rule, but you know they're also playing Defiance, so maybe they are a little bit more defensive minded, and maybe it's just like a Vargo deck. So these cards are kind of good because they're aggressive like Vargo, but also okay. So playing Chunk Chunk. So maybe just... I'm not sure what pledge synergies there are here, but I guess it could be the sword. That would make sense actually. Yes, we'll keep 2 Dreads because we can play them both. Like I probably may block one or like torch one, but we get to gain 8 lives, and if one of them survives till the end of the turn, we get to draw Glasshopper. Glasshopper looping Dreads is kind of cute, I'll be honest. But probably a little bit too slow realistically. Also just like foil. Well, premium Moonstone Vanguard's kind of nice looking. I'm happy our opponent just to attack here. I'll snap block, even if they've got a weapon on, just to gain some lives and just like trade with their unit. Because I think that the Bear Blade turns this into a 5/4 overwhelm, so yeah, it seems like a good trade, like for us at least. So I assume our opponent's in the tank about that right now. Also, I was recording with Outward yesterday, and I'm just becoming like a master of the first trials of that game. But it didn't work out great because I've been playing it on like Ultra. Uh-oh, it's a 9/9. But that didn't... What do we block here? I'm not sure if we actually can now. Yeah, I think we actually want to draw the card. So do we have something in here that can kill this? Oh, we can Disjunction. That's probably kind of cute, isn't it? I probably need like... Actually, we'll keep one of them Dreads. We'll keep the Dreads. Do this drama card. Like, if our opponent blocks, then we get to Disjunction. If they don't, you know, they get to attack, and then we'll Disjunction. I hope this works the way I think it does. Otherwise, that'd be awkward. Got him! So yeah, I was recording Outward. Recorded like 90 minutes of it. And unfortunately, that yeah, went best. Because for whatever reason, when I sort of tried encoding it or whatever I was trying to do, when I was pulling it from OBS, it was just really clunky. But I tried recording it again in Medium, and that was working really well. I think I probably just had like too many programs going on. Okay, so I was playing a similar deck to what we were playing yesterday. But our Dread should go off, but we've only got 1 unit to get, which is kind of sad. I'd actually prefer that opponent just had like a removal spell then. But, oh, the Dread's Loop. Yes! So they can see each other. Oh, that's really good, that. I did not sort of see it working like that. Yeah, obviously, like, we just managed to win against the aggressive deck there, but yeah, it's cool. You know, the more you know. So here we are on the play, and I do like this deck quite a bit. So this is kind of awkward because if we pledge here, it turns a lot of our deck on, but then we can't Ponysnatcher. So I think based on that, also just like turn 3 Desecrate is, if we really need to play it, oh god. Yeah, just have like 1/3 no text. Let's go to 6. Okay, so this is kind of better. I think that we'll go for Cykalis, because then we just like got a Moonstone Vanguard if we don't draw one of our pieces that care about the pledge card. Okay, let's just play a Shadow out here. So maybe we're like a little too heavy on 4s. I mean, I appreciate we need to have like a basic minimum number of actual pledge like cards in general. Dread could be actually kind of awkward, not awful, against opponents who do have access to like Torch as well as like Defiance. Especially now you have like a window. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, we don't get to steal our opponent's thing. That's just for our opponent. So our opponent either gives us a market card or they give us a 5/6. 5/6 does turn on the Vanquish, but I can't see a deck playing who's passive playing Vanquish's Blade. Actually, it seems kind of fine. Let's play some big boys. So look at all this charge damage, like we could just like have another 4 out of nowhere. I was experimenting, I think I actually recorded playing with that deck a little while ago. Oh, Glasshopper, get in there. What do we get? Cykalis. Nice. I think actually, yeah, just attack with these. Let's just play another Vara. Our opponent could be playing, yeah, could be playing Harsh Rule here. That would make sense, but then we just get to like, okay, so maybe they're just like a more aggressive version of whatever that deck is. So there's not a power here, which is kind of awkward. Just gonna keep attacking with Vara. This could be like a million to your life. Whoa, I'll get turned into a goat. That's a good way of protecting Vargo at least. But we could also just like play Dread now to go and fetch Vara. Oh, we're just going to get Dark Return. I think given our... It's kind of a hard spot because we just like missed our power, which is kind of awkward. I feel like a 5th power would be really easy to just like snap off one of these plays. But now I'm actually not sure what we do, so... I think I want to keep Dread just as like a surprise charge. So I think because we're not quite sure what we want to do, we'll pass the turn, let our opponent decide what they're doing, and then we can even Dune Smuggler. Uh-oh. Well, this is bad for us. Let's get rid of the Moonstone because we're not going to be able to do too much with it. We can't really do much with Banish either. I'm not too sure about Sandstorm Scarf, so I guess it's like Dark Turn. Let's hope that we can get a good Cykalis going. So I've probably got one spell in the Void. So we'll just get Cykalis here. So we sort of guaranteed getting for the 6 here. So sort of like no matter what. This 2 here is just like an easy block for the opponent, so I think we'll leave this back. And then next turn, if our opponent doesn't deal with this, so they can deal with this with another copy of Rizan. Okay, so they can't have another copy of Rizan now because it's strategizing. But also just having like at least 4 power on our charge units is kind of nice. It means that our opponent, you know, they do have blocks they can make. Okay, so I've got a teacher here. We can Glasshopper. Because this draws a Cykalis, and now I think we can attack with both our units. Because then we get we need a Defiance from the opponent. Because we get the 2 flank guaranteed, and then we get blocked here, we get 3 over, and our opponent dies. Huh, that was hard, but I was never very good playing Affinity, so sometimes with stuff like makes things cost like 1 less. And sometimes I'm not factoring it like super quickly. To bear with me on that. Okay, so, well, this would be kind of awkward because we'd be playing like a turn 3 teacher, so I think we'd redraw here because hand's just a little bit too awkward, and I like this. Now, I just need to decide, again, I won't pay attention now if it's like on the play draw. It'd be nice if we had like a clearer sort of indication of that, so we're on the play. And then now I just need to decide, like, teacher or... Well, considering we couldn't play a bat even if we drew it, I'm going to get a time sigil, because then if we draw a teacher, we can just play time sigil teacher. If we draw the bat, we couldn't have played it anyway. So we've got a Glasshopper going, but we don't need it quite yet. Okay, so there's a teacher. We'll play it next turn. So, just seeing if we're playing against like a pledge deck or just like a deck that... Well, a player that doesn't have premium sigils in a deck. I just play teacher here. And then we'll just ban it. Sometimes I like to ban it before I play, sometimes I like to play it afterwards. I think here we probably could have gotten away with... Oh, actually this is just like super aggressive. So our opponent can, and probably will Defiance us here. Oh, they don't? Okay. Okay, so that's the case. We're doing great then. But we've got some nice plays. If you draw a power, it was like Glasshopper into Dread. Dread won't do much. In terms of, it won't get something back, but it's like a bit of charge damage. Okay, well, Torch is kind of fine. Just like Glasshopper. Give Glasshopper Killer. So this trades here, but then it gives us something in the void that's kind of sweet with Dread, because it gets us more Dreads. Also just like, our Dread being able to let us pick between either Glasshopper with a killer unit or Cykalis. Uh-oh. That's kind of good there. We're just going to Desecrate that. We'll play Teacher. I just like that unconditional removal of Dread is kind of good. I'm very glad that that is a double shadow card and not fast. Oh boy, imagine if that was fast, it'd be ridiculous. So, our opponent then needs to do something about this, because I'm very happy to just like boop and Desecrate that. Ah, Torch. Well, you can have your 2-2 then. I'll play my 5-6. Gonna have a sneaky suspicion that maybe our opponent's playing like a plate on this. Plate plus Vanquish would be kind of rough for us. Okay, they're up to Lifesteal for Xenan, so maybe there could have been like a better way of doing that turn, but I guess that's where we're up to. So I don't want our opponent to hit, I don't mind them hitting us with like a 2-2. Like, let's just kill this so they're not able to just like gain 5 lives a turn. Then our opponent attacks with this, we'll go and get Dread. Give them the old boah, because we've got no spells. And then we'll put like Dread into this. Yeah. More Dread is good. And then from here, we can get the 2/4 killer. I think that's what we want, because then we can kill this, draw a dread, and then just like keep doing that. That's just my amount of grindy here. So draw another dread. Oh, I can't play the 3-cost one. I should have played this first. I was just getting a bit too like fast myself there, a bit too excited. That's fine. We'll just grab a Xenan Temple or something. I think we're probably in okay shape, so. Yeah, Xenan Temple it up. Then we can just like go ham with dreads, just keep like gaining lives with them. Pass the turn, grab Glasshopper. And this is just like playing Pauper, like the kind of grindy plays you can get. So we play Grasshopper, which draws us a dread. So if we attack with the 4/1, I mean attacking with the Cykalis doesn't really do as much. So we may as well just play dread here, just to gain more lives. Because we didn't have lethal anyway, because we only had 7. So. Oh, it costs 1 less because of this. Huh. Interesting. Well, we have our opponent dead anyway, so. Aw, no we don't. In which case, we may as well dread them. Dread you. Pass the turn. Draw a Glasshopper. Next turn, draw a dread. Just ignoring the fact we've got Cykalis in hand. I'm just like, yep, this is fine. There's no Heart of the Vaults in there, mate. It's like great time playing against FGS and just like drawing millions of units. Even though we made that mistake where we like just got too excited with Killer. Yeah. This deck is fun. Okay, so here we are, and we're on the draw, but I'm going to keep this because we're just going to make a turn 2 teacher. I guess turn 3 we'll try and get our shadow sources sorted. Also looking forward to just like being able to have all of the shadow emotes, because currently I need to unlock these 2. But I'll settle with never again. Huh. So I like Dread. But we should probably just do like the... Yeah, let's do Dread. Because then we can actually... We know that we can very likely just play the Cycalises. Oh yes, Dusk Raider, get there. Okay, so we're going to be a wee bit slow. We'll probably play against like Charge Rod here if our opponent's playing Gen of Cargo into Dusk Raider. Oh, touch our thing. Well, we'll teach you a thing or two about Memory Dredger. I guess we'll find out like if our opponent plays Time Source here. Yeah, so we'll play against like a Charge Rod deck. We're just going to block this. It's going to be sweet. Probably get... Maybe just get Xenan Temple just to keep our opponent busy. Oh yes. I mean, our opponent's getting value here because get to draw a card whilst we've still got Dusk Raider in play, but we're just going to do this. Boop. Don't infinite Cycalises. Guess just grab. Dark Turn, why not? Block. Resolute Muck, so actually not Charge Rod, they're just playing like big stuff. In that case, it's kind of risky, but maybe I kind of want to play Memory Dredger. Yeah, because we're going to take this like 5. That's like fine. Just attack this, make the teacher, just like keep having that as a body to block this. Seems good. And then if our opponent has like the first Permafrost on here, that's kind of okay because we can Vara and then Vara doesn't get permafrosted instead. Yep, this is fine. Our opponent could also be playing Display. Maybe display that. Oh, boo. Desecrate this. play teacher. In which case, plus one dark turn now to sort of power sort of like setup. I will 100% just like block here, like, because then we get to just get it back with Memory Dredger anyway. Kind of interesting build. We've not seen any of the Berserk units from our opponent yet, so maybe we've got like expensive Berserk units in hand, or maybe they just like whiffed while they're teacher, because I think they got like, I think they drew like 3 or 4 cards whilst they had it. I mean, they could have just drawn like spells. Huh, it's interesting. Well, we'll just block this. You can get us with the Scorpion Traps, it's fine. Ah, well, at least Permafrost did that instead of our Vara. Let's just grab a Time Sigil, why not? And then let's just start making Varas. So sort of like non-specific to our strategy, just big stuff, dot deck. Katana's good, but also scary if able to get past. So maybe this is like just a trick, in which case I'm fine because it'll gain lives. Yeah, so you still net gain lives there, so that's kind of fine. I think I'll just do this. Disjunction the thing. That seems like a more technical kind of play, just having like a fuller board that isn't really easily answerable by one removal spell. Yeah, I did an extra game just because I was enjoying the deck, but let's go to the deck tech on it. Okay, so there we have it, and this deck is pretty sweet. There are some things that I'm not sure about, so that's mostly just like influence requirements of like XX into YY, like buff on turn 2 is kind of a little bit awkward. I get that Glasshopper turns some of these 4-drops into 3-drops, but I'd like to perhaps see the curve lowered a bit, or just like have some Risters in here at the 3-drop. Memory Dredger's cute, and when it worked, like it was just absolutely fantastic, but maybe like 12 4-drops is enough, you know, just like the Cykalis and Dredger have to play like a critical mass of pledge units anyway. Vara is just like you're playing this, so you want to play this or Sandstorm time, but I think it's probably going to be Vara, just because it's going to win so many games. It's like much easier. So maybe Memory Dredger could be cut, and like some other stuff. Like we never actually got to see Stowridge's Blade, which was sad. Well, we did see it. Did we see it? No, I don't think we actually saw it. So we didn't get to see what it could do, but I do like that you can combine this with things like Xenan Initiation just to be able to like force the death, because you basically give something like +4/+1, but just make it kill something massive, you know, and then you're able to get back your unit with Killer, and if it's something like Dread, you know, it's just got like millions of lives that you just gained. So the deck's sweet. I think there's some work that could be done on it, but I think there's definitely something there. I think that Glasshopper is just going to be a really powerful card. It's now going to make a lot of these pledge units just a lot more playable, because generally you'd want to play one of these like pledge legendaries, but you'd really not want to pledge it, because then you just lose access to it. But now if you just like do things like Glasshopper, like Dreadback Glasshopper, like you saw in one of the games, you're just like such a grindy engine, and you basically got like a sigil for free in the first turn of the game. It does change the way you play, of course, because like it doesn't play well with seats, makes it kind of awkward with 2-drops, so maybe we want to do something about the Amber Monuments, and just because we're grindy enough, just to make sure we've got like a maximum amount of sort of like unplayed power, so we can always do our turn 2 thing. But I was actually really impressed with this deck and would like to see more of it. So thanks for watching. I mean, that was all. I'll see you around.